lined up. First one here on the couch today is the former governor of the great state of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee.
You know, somebody's got to show up and do this show at 6 in the morning.
Governor, you've been through this. What are these candidates feeling today?
Anxiety, nervous, tension. I mean, you know, they're exhausted. You got to realize how hard they've worked. And
you saw it in Trump's face yesterday?
You could see that he's tired. But look, this guy, unbelievable energy. I've never seen anything like it. You know, if Donald Trump was 30 years old, I'd be amazed at his stamina and energy. But he's 70. He's just been like the most amazing workhorse. And this is not a guy who called it in. This is a guy who's been out there every day hitting rally after rally after rally, never stopping.
One of the things he's been talking about is don't believe the polls. And on election day, we don't give the results of any of the polls. But one of the things is that a number of people on your side say, look, you should ignore the polls for two good reasons. One of them is this year the number of Republicans who have turned out is overwhelming. And the other thing is it's hard to figure out how many Democrats are actually going to vote for Trump.
Steve, I think that's really true. A lot of people are not going to go into their union hall and say, hey, I'm for Trump. They're not going to go to the bowling alley of the church. They're not going to get an argument with their family by announcing they're for Trump because they're going to be called a racist, a bigot, a xenophobe, a misogynist, and nobody wants that. So what they are doing is they're privately, but I'm telling you, wherever I go, I don't meet people that are for Hillary. And when I say that, I mean, one lady came up to me in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania airport the other day and, you know, got in my face. But 1,000 times it's flight attendants and bellmen and Uber drivers who say, I'll tell you one thing, I'm voting for Trump. Their lives have been shattered. Their lives have been shattered. And with Hillary, they not only get, it's not more of the same. It gets worse because politics is always about the donors. That's the sad part of politics. It's always, but this time it's about foreign donors. I mean, you think about if you want a candidate that basically has been funded by the Saudis and the governments of Qatar and Morocco, then Hillary's your girl. But what does that mean for our future as Americans? This is scary stuff.
Governor, bring us to a level that we would not see, and that is on the Trump plane. With him, just you two, or with a handful of people. When he goes out there and sees the president, and he sees the vice president, and the first lady, and Bon Jovi, and Bruce Springsteen, what's his reaction? Because they're big names.
They are big names, but I think for him it's like Hillary is having to pull in celebrities just to get a crowd and to get them amped up. He doesn't. And I think he looks at it as a badge of honor.
He doesn't get intimidated and say,
oh, no, not at all. I mean, I think, if anything, he's kind of made more confident by the fact that the people who are out there at his rallies, they're not coming to get a free show. They're not coming because they didn't have to buy a ticket to a Bon Jovi or Bruce Springsteen concert. No, they're coming because they want to make America great again. And that theme, that idea that America's in trouble and they can fix it. Look, this is a movement, and I know people have said that, but there's no other way to describe what's going on out there. I mean, it defies all common reasoning that people would stand in line for hours to go into an arena and still stand on their feet for a couple of hours.
It can be beneficial that Hollywood doesn't like you. I mean, the working class man or woman out there,
newsflash,
they don't care that Beyonce doesn't support Donald Trump.
It almost makes them want to support Donald Trump more, because here's the thing. They know that the people in this bubble of elites, whether it's the institution of government, finance, entertainment, news, they're people who live very differently than the folks who are struggling, who are driving cabs out here on 6th Avenue this morning. And those folks know their lives are worse, not better.
You know who else knows of Bill Clinton? Look at what we got in an off-the-record speech from WikiLeaks. This comes out. Bill Clinton really has the themes of Donald Trump. He says this: in the middle of all this, we've learned breathtakingly that the middle-aged, non-college educated white Americans' life expectancy is going down. 84% of the American people had not had a raise of 1% since the financial crash, because they don't have anything to look forward to when they get up in the morning, because their lives are sort of stuck in neutral. Isn't that the reason why?
And he blamed it in that speech on the Obama years, Brian.
You know, I think one of the things I hope people understand, Hillary is not Bill. Bill has a true empathy for people who are working class. It's one of the reasons that even in the worst of scandals, he's still remained popular. I still personally like Bill Clinton. It's hard not to. I know both of them. Hillary ain't Bill.
Yeah.
I want to make it as clear as I can. She ain't Bill. She does not have that empathy. And if working class people think they're going to have a friend in the White House with Hillary, boy, are they in for a rude awakening if, God forbid, she gets there.
And a couple of days ago on this program, you said that Hillary Clinton has more baggage
than Delta Airlines.
You did indeed. It was quite a quote. Let me ask you this, though. It all comes down to turnout. And, you know, either one of them can win today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear. It just depends on who shows up to vote. One of the things is, going back months, is a number of GOP elites and the never Trumpers have said, I'm never going to vote for that guy in a million years. Right now, it looks like 85 to 90% of Republicans are on the Trump train. I think they really have taken that message about coming home, haven't they?
I think they have, and I think they also realize that whatever misgivings they have about Donald Trump, and many of them have, you know, a lot of misgivings, but when they look at the fundamental changes that Hillary would bring in terms of not only court appointments, but who she puts at the EPA and the DOJ, when they see that there is no law for everybody. There's a law for the ruling class, and there's another law that's going to be applied to people who aren't in the ruling class. I think some of even the most reluctant Republicans are coming around. And I'm going to tell you something. The ones that don't come around, I'm going to remember them, and I hope every other Republican remembers them. Don't ever ask me for your vote again, because you're done. You're done.
You're right. Jeff Flake, Governor John Kasich.
Forget about him.
The Bushes.
Forget about him.
There you go. All right, Governor, thank you very much.
Long night.
It's going to be long.